Hey guys, Shane here with the Modern Warrior Project, and I want to run you through a quick demo of our Modern Warrior Project Pentecost encryption program. So you may be seeing this as part of our communications, secure communications course, or you might be seeing this as just a tutorial for the program. I'll try and keep it directly to the program related, but if I mention some stuff that has to do with the course, just understand this video is used in a couple places. So first thing you're going to want to do, the first time you open this, depending on your security settings on your computer, most likely you're going to get a Windows Defender or whatever Mac uses, warning, don't run type pop-up block. You're going to want to click on more info for Windows, and then that'll allow you to have a run anyway option, and you can run it. Windows doesn't recognize this program, it doesn't know it, so it's just trying to protect you and saying, hey, we don't know this program, it could be malicious. Feel free to run it, your antivirus and everything else on it before you run it. I always do that with everything I download. But it's safe software, we're not capturing anything or anything like that. So you'll have to do that to get it to run. I've already ran this on my computer, so I don't have to do that, but I wanted to talk you through it so you're not shocked when you see that. Okay, so you double click, open up the program. It's a very simple interface. Modern Warrior Project, Pentecost, communicate with confidence. You have input text right here. You have a secret key right here, and output text right here. Generate key, encrypt, decrypt. That's all there is to this whole thing. So let me talk you through these each. Input text, this is going to be your plain text message that you're going to want to encrypt. Also, you will push in your encrypted message that you want to decrypt, depending on which end you are, whether you're receiving or giving, as far as that goes. Nothing works without a key. You can generate keys as many times as you need, but it's important to understand that once you generate a key, that key will only work for that message or as many messages you want to use with that key, but I can't use this key with another key's message, right? So that's how it encrypts it. Without going into all the in-depth, just understand that this is the key to every message, encrypted and decrypted with that particular key. It doesn't work with others. It's kind of like a household key. My neighbor can't use their house key in my lock. It just doesn't work that way. So one of the things I like to do is when I'm doing this, I go ahead and open up like a notepad so that I can save my key. That's one of the most important things, and that's one of the things you want to double check before you go operational with this key, i.e. put it into your family's SOP or whatever your particular use for it is. I always want to test and make sure that I've copied this whole key and it works. So let's go through that. So you can double click and sometimes it'll copy it or it'll highlight it all, but as you see right there, it didn't highlight it all. So if I had double clicked that and copied and paste, I wouldn't have actually had the whole key and it wouldn't have worked. That's why I always want to check the first time I'm employing a key and make sure I get everything. So the easiest way to do that is I left click into this box here and I'm going to drag my cursor all the way to the right. Make sure I'm all the way over there. Then I'm going to use my right arrow a few times to make sure I am confident I am at the very end of this key. Then I'm going to left click right here and I'm going to drag it all the way back to the left. So now I know I've highlighted everything in that box. At this point I can right click and copy. I can also Control C on a Windows computer. I'm not sure the shortcut on Mac. So I've got this key copied. I'm going to paste it over here. Control V to paste it into Notepad, and this key is good to go once I test it, but I believe this is our key. This is the key we're going to use. So this is a test for the key. I'm going to put in my little secret message. I'm going to encrypt this message and I get this output text. And this is our encrypted message right here under output text. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to copy this out of here. Paste over there. I'm going to erase all this. And I want to erase this key. That way I make sure that the key that I have matches this. So if the receiver were to try and use this message, so I'm going to copy this and put in here, they get the message and they go to try and decrypt it, or someone else comes across it, and they try and decrypt it, it's going to tell you enter a secret key. If you enter the wrong key, it's going to tell you wrong key. Doesn't work, right? So if I try and generate a key and decrypt it, it doesn't work. It's not the right key. So we're going to now use our key that we generated earlier. Control C, Control V, put it in here, and I'm going to decrypt, and it gives us the message. Very simple. Couple notes, inside the input and output text box you cannot right click, so you'll have to highlight and use your shortcuts, Control C or X, cut or copy, and Control V to paste. So just so you know that you need to use those. So now you see how that works. Very, very simple. So this key can be used forever. You can constantly use it. I recommend changing them occasionally, but you can constantly use it and do more and more messages. But there is one note that'll crash it, so I don't want you to do that. So this is test 2, and we're going to go ahead and encrypt it. Cut this out. So let's say that the receiver, they have the key, they put the key in, it's all empty, and they received a message from you, okay, and they go to decrypt it. Okay, works, it's good. But let's say that they, within the same time frame, for whatever reason, they still have this program open. You shouldn't leave it open if you're not using it. You shouldn't leave that key in there if you're not using it. But they have this program open, and they actually have 2 messages from you. They want to decrypt them both. What's important here is that you do it, and then you clear it out. And then you can decrypt them both. So I come over, I do that, decrypt. Okay, this is the test of the key. What happens, so that worked just fine. But if you try and do it like this, and let's say I try and add the other message on my own, so I've got both messages in there, it's going to crash the system. So it gives it a crash. It's going to crash the system, so it just doesn't work. You have to do them one at a time. Also, if I tried to copy them both and put them in there at the same time, need the key, it's going to crash the system. It doesn't work. So you have to do it one message at a time, and then just clear it out and decrypt it. Very, very simple, down and dirty. I think I've covered everything. So once again, the key is important. So obviously that key is what you're going to pass off and utilize as a team, group, family, whatever it is. That you all need to be on the same key. You could have a key for every day, and we'll talk more about that in the courses, randomizing keys and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the key is directly tied to the message. And so then they can, as long as they have that key, you and the other person with that key can communicate freely. Hi, I'm here. And you can do tons. I don't have anything readily available, but you can put tons of text in here. So I can do a full out letter, and and then that output text that I get is, I'm going to take that output text, which is this up here in the notepad, right? The encrypted text, and that is going to be what's passed off. So that's our secure message. I'm going to pass that off, whether I pass it in person, on paper, and then they utilize some OCR program to pull it out, or I pass it off, by posting it hidden on the net somewhere, or through metadata in a photo. However I pass it off, as long as they have that key and they know where to get it, they can then decrypt the message, and you can communicate back and forth. And we go into that into the course itself. But this is the Modern Warrior Project Pentecost. Feel free to ask if you have any questions, but it's pretty simple, down and dirty.